The narrative about domestic violence against women is distorted. Domestic violence against women does not exist because societies are sexist and seek to oppress women, but, on the contrary, because societies are misandric and, because of that, do not combat female toxicity in the same way they combat male toxicity, and this violence against women in a domestic context is the way men deal with the daily oppressive behavior of toxic women. Domestic violence against women exists not because men are oppressors and women are victims, but because women are not victims at all. They are oppressors, and men are the daily targets of the toxic behavior of the women they live with, and who, at a certain point, decide to respond to this violence to which they have been subjected for so long. Now, as violence is strategically reduced to its physical dimension, curiously, the one most practiced by men, leaving out other forms of violence, namely psychological and moral violence. Not coincidentally the forms of violence most practiced by women. The problem of domestic violence is a concern only when men use violence against women, because while it is women who use their type of violence against men, society remains hypocritically silent. Tired, revolted, and angry, at a certain point, men decide to put an end to years of humiliation and violence. We only regret that Western societies are so hypocritical and false that they remember to combat violence only when men use it, and not when women use it against men. The day that society begins to combat female toxicity in the same way that it combats male toxicity, the problems of domestic violence against women will drastically reduce, if not completely disappear. But on that day, we will see prisons appearing on every corner or every kilometer, due to the recurrent, hysterical, and unbalanced way in which women use psychological and moral violence, whether against husbands, boyfriends, infants, co-workers, neighbors, or even other women.